Isabella lived in a house of gold. Sunlight streamed through tall windows onto silk curtains and polished floors. From the outside, her life seemed perfect. She was a content creator who wore designer. She all the subscribers' likes and views. She wore designer clothes and had every luxury. But inside her heart was cold and hard. Her wealth brought no joy, only emptiness. She used money to please a man who didn't love her and to satisfy a greedy family. Nearby, Maria lived in a humble little apartment, working 2 jobs to care for her son, Leo. Her life was hard, but her heart was full of hope. Their paths crossed at the cafe where Maria worked. Maria would tell people she was trying to start up her own podcast, and sometimes would share her ideas with her customers. She would tell everyone she needed to work from home to care for her child. Bella saw an opportunity and began to steal, small things at first. Each lie chipped away at Maria's small savings and hope. Bella ignored the warning signs because she was never taught properly at home. Her family's home life was based on the get-rich-or-die-trying mentality, no matter the measures she had to take. One of the ladies in the shop would say, "Weep and wail, you rich, for misery is coming." But Bella ignored the sign. Isabella saw Maria's struggle, but her heart remained stone. Her thefts grew bolder. Because she thought no one was watching, Isabella's lies became more elaborate. One day, she accused Maria of stealing her diamond bracelet. She created a dramatic scene in the middle of the crowded cafe. "She took it!" Bella shouted, pointing a trembling false finger at the poor mother. Maria's face went pale. She knew she had done nothing wrong. But who would believe a poor waitress over a rich, important woman? The cafe manager, fearing a lawsuit, fired Maria on the spot. He also forced her to pay for the stolen bracelet from her final wages, leaving her with almost nothing. Maria went home that day with tears streaming down her face, her hope wearing thin. People tried to warn Isabella about bearing false witness. A kind old woman who saw the scene unfold later approached her. "My dear," she said gently, "the path of deceit is a lonely one. God sees the truth." Isabella just laughed. She dismissed the old woman as a fool. Her own brother, who sometimes felt a pang of guilt, called her. "Bella, this has to stop. What you are doing is wrong. You stole that woman's possessions, and you stole her ideas, and tried to put them off as your own." She hung up the phone. She believed her money made her untouchable. It was a shield. It protected her from consequences. It protected her from truth. The warnings were like raindrops on a window pane, sliding away without leaving a mark. Other people watched as it all unfolded. The money flowed from Isabella's hands like a river because she was able to steal Maria's ideas. Her confidence led her to hack into her accounts looking for gossip. She gave the money to Julian, who used it to feed his addictions and to buy gifts for another woman. He would thank Bella with empty kisses and false promises. In return, she would reply with lipstick stains on every text message as a private caller. He gave it to his parents, who used it to fund a lavish lifestyle they could not afford. They praised her for her generosity, never asking where the money came from. Isabella felt a moment of power each time she handed over the cash. But it was a fleeting feeling. It was like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. The emptiness always returned, larger than before. "Look, the wages you failed to pay the workers are crying out against you," kept coming to her mind, but she ignored them. This speaks of cries reaching the ears of the Lord. Maria's silent tears were those cries. The warnings from others were echoes of that truth. Bella was building her house on a foundation of lies, stolen wages, and ideas. Every lie she told was a crack in that foundation. Every dollar she stole was another crack. Every account she hacked, her friends Alpharetta, LA, and Brooklyn were all in cahoots. They did not see that the walls were beginning to tremble. She was too busy admiring the way someone else's ideas and thought process for play. They made her look creative and well-learned and future-forward. She didn't notice that the very ground beneath her was about to give way. Her wealth was not a fortress, it was a prison of her own making. The turning point came quietly. Julian vanished overnight, leaving Isabella with only a note. He confessed he'd left for someone else and emptied their joint bank account. The money Isabella had stolen and given him was gone. Betrayed and alone, she faced only silence in her empty house. Her family abandoned her when she confessed the money was gone. There was no comfort, only anger and accusations. Without money, she meant nothing to them. Then came a legal notice. Security footage exposed her theft and lies. Isabella was charged, her reputation destroyed, and her assets frozen. She lost her home and everything she valued. Her riches, built on suffering, rotted from within. In the end, Isabella reaped only misery from her greed and deceit. As Isabella's world fell apart, Maria's began to heal. The cafe owner, regretful, visited Maria, apologized, and offered her job back with a raise and promotion. He also gave her the money Isabella owed. For the first time, Maria didn't worry about rent. She started her podcast using the cafe after hours. It was a success. She could buy Leo new shoes without anxiety. Meanwhile, Isabella stood before the judge, a shadow of her former self. Her fancy clothes gone, replaced by a simple dress. Sentenced to community service and probation, she finally understood. Her actions had consequences. At the shelter, Bella did honest work and saw real kindness. Slowly, her heart began to soften. This story reminds us true wealth is compassion, not gold.